Hello. It's beginning to rain inside, too. Now, I think my roof is leaking. Drip, 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 drip. I sent for someone to fix it. They're taking a long time getting here. Oh, no. Oh, there's another drip, and it's right over my desk. I'm surrounded by water. You know, I never expected my office to be wetter than the harbor. There we go. What am I going to do? Maybe I should talk to Hank. Hank knows what to do when things like this happen. Ever since he found the Cozy Cove.
It was the end of a busy day in the big harbor. The tugboats were all gathering at the great ocean dock. "There's nothing better than coming home to our good old dock," smiled Theodore. Just then, the dispatcher turned to everyone. "Tugboats, remember that bright and early tomorrow," he said, "work will begin on our dock." The tugs all knew that tomorrow was the day the area around their dock was going to be dug out to make it deeper. "I have noticed I kind of scrape the bottom sometimes," said George. "Does that mean we won't sleep here tomorrow night?" asked Theodore. "I have arranged for you to dock in a different place," replied the dispatcher, "just past Willie's Island." "Willie's Island?" repeated Theodore. "But," frowned Foda, "the only empty place out there is Mud Cove." "Mud Cove?" said George. "It's not too far from here," the dispatcher said reassuringly, "and you'll all be together. It'll be like an adventure." "An adventure?" said Hank. "We better get some sleep if we have to be up early," yawned Emily. The tugs all moved into their familiar places around the great ocean dock. Hank snuggled in close to Theodore, the way he always did. "Theodore, do you think it will be like an adventure?" said Hank. "Maybe," Theodore said slowly. And then he looked around at his dock. "But it won't be the same as here." "Same as here," thought Hank. Then he had an idea. Bright and early the next morning, Theodore and Hank went to get Brunswick and Bayswater, the barges who would be used for the dock digging. When they arrived at the great ocean dock, they were in for a big surprise. Everything was covered up. Even the dispatcher. George had already brought Shelburne. The giant sea barge was slowly beginning to dig up rocks from the bottom. Theodore began to move Brunswick into position. Just then, Hank went hurrying past him towards his dock. "Hank," called Theodore. "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm just getting something I need for later," smiled Hank. Shelburne slowly dumped a big load of rocks into Brunswick. Shelburne did everything very slowly. "I hope Shelburne hurries up a little so we can have our dock back soon," Theodore whispered to Hank. "That way, we wouldn't have to sleep in Mud Cove tonight." "I can't wait," said Hank in a voice that sounded to Theodore like he was as happy as a clam at high tide. Well, a little while later, after Hank had dumped his first barge load of rocks, he hurried over to Mud Cove. He carefully placed his dock bumper on the side of the cove. "Now you stay right there," he said softly. At the end of the day, the tugs gathered in Mud Cove for storytelling time. No one much felt like telling stories, and no one much felt like spending the night in Mud Cove either. "It's kind of dark," said Theodore. "It's kind of noisy," said Emily.
It's kind of...
Began George.
muddy.
Said Foduck. "It's not like the great ocean dock at all," concluded Theodore.
I like it.
Smiled Hank. "You too?" said Theodore.
Yes, I do. I like it here.
What was that?" said Theodore, peering into the gloom. A loon," said Emily. "I hope."
Did you see something?
said Foduck. "Oh, it's just the waves," said Theodore. "I hope."
Is that a face out there?
Whispered George. It looks like a monster, shivered Theodore.
Scientifically speaking,
Said Foduck.
there are no monsters in the big harbor.
I hope. Well, that night, no one could sleep. No one except Hank. The smallest tugboat snuggled in close to Theodore the way he always did at night. And soon, he was fast asleep. The bright new morning brought some gloomy old faces. The tugs hadn't slept very well in Mud Cove. All the tugs, that is, but one. "What will we do if we have to spend another night in Mud Cove?" Theodore groaned. "Do you think we can?" shouted Hank. Well, Hank was acting very strangely, Theodore thought to himself, and it was time to find out why. A little later, Hank was finishing dumping Bayswater's load of rocks when he heard Theodore's whistle. "Hank, wait up," puffed Theodore, pulling Brunswick behind him. "Hank, you seem very happy lately." "I do?" smiled Hank. I guess I do." "Well, don't you miss our dock?" Theodore went on. "Well, I like our new dock, too," replied Hank. "It's not really a dock, Hank," frowned Theodore. It's Mud Cove." "I think it's very cozy," whispered Hank. Theodore looked puzzled. So Hank said, "Follow me, Theodore." Hank led Theodore back into Mud Cove. "See," said Hank proudly, "I brought my bumper from the Great Ocean Dock, so now I don't miss our old dock so much." Sure enough, Theodore could see Hank's dock bumper hanging off the side of the cove at the spot where he slept. "It's like having a special piece of home right here with me," smiled Hank. "And it's especially cozy over here in this corner of the cove." "Hank," Theodore said slowly, "that's a great idea." Theodore glanced at the big pile of rocks from the digging, and he had an idea too. "Maybe," he began, "we could make this cove cozy for all of us." Theodore began to explain his idea to Hank, and Hank moved closer to listen. All that day, Theodore and Hank took Brunswick and Bayswater loaded with rocks from the Great Ocean Dock. to Mud Cove. I think the other tugs are really going to like this, smiled Hank. By sundown, their work was done. The other tugboats were on their way to Mud Cove after they finished their own work. They were in for a big surprise. Theodore and Hank had closed off more of the cove using the big rocks Shelburne had dug up. Look at that, smiled Emily. The waves won't hit us in here. It's much quieter, said Fodak. Just then, George floated by with Shelburne, taking him home. We can go home now, too, announced George. Shelburne has finished digging up our dock. Then he saw the cove. What's that? He said. It's our new Cozy Cove, answered Theodore, smiling at Hank. Let's sleep here tonight, said Emily. Yes, agreed the tugs. In our Cozy Cove. If only we could close it all the way, said Hank. That would make it extra cozy. Well, this time, George had an idea. Shelburne, he said. Yes, George? How would you like to have a sleepover with us tonight? That would be fun, said Shelburne in his slow, slow voice. George had moved Shelburne to close off the cove, so it was extra cozy and extra secret. Hank snuggled in close to Theodore, the way he always did at night. And the other tugs moved into the places they always slept in back at the Great Ocean Dock. And it wasn't long before there were 5 tugboats, all snuggled in, all sound asleep in their own Cozy Cove.
It's not that cozy in here. Not with all these leaks. But you know, when it rains outside, I always put on my good old foul weather gear. There now. I feel better already. And now I'll be cozy and dry until they fix my leaky roof. Thanks for visiting us here in the Big Harbor, and we'll see you all again next time. You know, it's kind of fun to wear your raincoat inside. Oh, no. Oh, dry too.